Hey guys, and welcome to day 5 of Bloo Makes Christmas in 24 days. And today we're going to make one of the most important ingredients for our Christmas baking, and that's our very own golden syrup. Come with me, let's go do it. Okay, so this is a really simple recipe, and when I show you how it's done, you'll be wondering why you haven't done it before. So first off, we're going to put in a pan 500 grams of plain sugar, just granulated sugar, nothing fancy, that's it. And we're also going to add to that 2 cups of water. You want to make sure that you're using a heavy based pan, preferably stainless steel, for doing this job. Now, if nothing else, you can use your jam pan if you have one, but a heavy based stainless steel pan is your best option. Now we're going to want to have this over a medium heat. At no point in this recipe are you going to use high heat. You're going to use medium, and the only time you're going to be stirring it is right now, just to dissolve that sugar into your water. And as soon as it's done, get the whisk out. The reason that you don't want to be stirring your sugar afterwards is because it will crystallize. It'll reform back into its crystals, and you don't want that. So you want to keep everything that's stirrable, or you're going to stir it, out of the way. Now, if it does look like it's about to catch on the bottom, you can sort of tilt the pan a bit, or take it off the heat and tilt it. But I do not put anything to stir it after you've got your sugar completely melted. Now, once your sugar is completely dissolved and you've taken your whisk or your spoon or whatever away, you're going to leave that now on a low to medium heat until it starts to go golden. Now, that process will take about 8, 9, maybe 10 minutes. But the second it starts to turn, you need to be right there. You cannot leave this alone, because it will turn incredibly quickly and it will burn before you realize it's even happened. So this was bubbling after 5 minutes like this, and this here is where it's actually started to go golden already on the edge. It's already started to go golden on the edge, and this is at 8 minutes. So just be very careful, guys, very careful. So I have recorded this in full time, from the time it started to go golden in the bottom right hand side until it was completely done. So I can show you guys exactly what I mean by tilting it and swirling it. As you can see, the color has deepened really quickly, literally seconds. Now you want to take that off the heat right away. Once it's off the heat, you're going to want to add another 1.5 liters of boiling hot water into that. Now, unfortunately, I turned my camera off, so I can't show you. But when you are doing that part, you need to make sure that you're doing it well away from yourself, and you do it slowly, because it will bubble right up and can spit, because hot boiling sugar is not fun if it hits your skin. At this point too, I have added in the equivalent of 2 lemons in slices. My slices were frozen. I did them last year, and I still had some in the freezer to use, so I've put those in. Just make sure that there's no pips or anything floating around. Try and get those out if you can, and just make sure that any stuck sugar toffee, that's why I'm stirring it now, is to try and get that to dissolve back into the majority of that water, so you don't have a catchment point. Okay, so we've added all our water in now, and we're making sure that any stuck sugar is dissolving, because we don't want that to be a catch point for later on. Next, you're going to get the rest of your bag of sugar and 2 more. So we're going to get 2.5 kilos more of sugar and pop that straight into the pot. Now we need to make sure that this is mixed through. We want it all dissolved. We don't want anything that's going to be a catch point or any issues with clumping or anything like that. So just make sure that all your sugar goes into the pot. And then for the last time in this recipe, we're going to get our whisk out. Now we're going to want to make sure that we have dissolved most of that sugar, because if it starts to boil underneath, we could end up being sprayed in the face with some pretty hot sugar syrup at this point, and none of us want that. So the more of the sugar that you can break down and get dissolved in there before you leave it to its own devices, the less issues you're going to have. Now, many recipes will tell you that you don't need to worry about that. I prefer to err on the side of caution, and I'd rather get it all dissolved before I'm happy to leave it to its own devices. Now the costings for this from the time at the time that I made it, okay, I had 3 bags of sugar and they were 89p each. And the lemon I had from a tray of lemons that I got last year for 50p for the tray over at Leeds Kirkgate Market. I got 2 lemons out of that. I'm not even going to call it 5p. You know, that would be silly, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So saying that we had 5p's worth of lemon and the sugar, that all comes to a grand total of £2.72 plus 10p for the electric to run the stove. So it's £2.82, and we got 2 litres of golden syrup out of this recipe. 2 litres. Now to get the same amount of, say for example, Lyle's golden syrup, that's the one that I'm doing my costings against because it's the good one. Let's be honest. They do 907 gram tins for £2.50 in Morrison's, and they've also got the 454 gram tin for £1.75. Now we would need 2 of the 900 gram ones and 1 of the 454 gram ones to make the same amount as we had, and you'd end up with a little bit more. Now that would cost us a grand total of £6.75 to get enough golden syrup for what we've made today. So our savings in making it ourselves has come to a grand total of £3.93. Now that might not sound a lot, but quite frankly, the way things are at the moment, every little bit helps. And £3 can be a loaf of bread. It could be, you know, anything. It could be all sorts of things. You know, it's milk. It's bread. It's milk and bread money. Let's be honest. You know, and if that's what we've got, that's what we've got. And if we can save ourselves a bit of cash by doing this ourselves, well, why not? Now at this point I've noticed we've got a couple of floating seeds from the lemon, and we're going to pop those out. Just pop them out. We don't want them floating around in the sugar because they might get lost in what we're doing, and we don't really want to leave a seed in our golden syrup for bottling, do we? Let's be honest. No, I don't think so. So our sugar is all dissolved, we've got the pips out from the lemon, and we can pretty much leave this to its own devices. We need to bring it up to a simmer, so we need to bring it up using a medium heat to the boil so that we can turn it down. So once it gets to this point, we can turn that down to low now, and we're going to leave it alone. I do check on this every 15 minutes, and I've shown you during this video what it looks like after those 15 minutes. So this is after 15 minutes, You can actually see a little bit of difference there. It has gone a little bit darker, and the lemons are starting to look a little bit translucent around the pith, the skin in it. Now this is what it looks like after 30 minutes. Now you can see that it's starting to get a little bit rounder in its color and the bubbles. I know it sounds weird, but you can actually see a distinct difference. After 45 minutes, we're getting a few more bubbles and less of the foamy bubbles. And that's what we want. Now we're at the 1 hour point, and as you can see, the bubbles are actually starting to round up a little slower than they were doing before, which means they're thickening. Now we're at 1 hour 15, and we are almost there. We're almost there. We're here at 1.5 hours, and as you can see, the bubbles look a little thicker and the lemons have completely candied. Now you want to take that completely off the heat now and get your lemon pieces out. You don't have to waste these lemon pieces, by the way. You can put them on a cake crack, dry them out, and you've got candied lemons. Yum, yum, yum. So when we got to the beginning point of putting the sugar and the syrup on to boil by itself for the 1.5 hours, we also placed half a dozen jars in the oven on a baking tray. So I put it on gas mark 7, which is 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius. Now there are 2 reasons for doing this. One, it helps to sterilize the jar, because we don't need to water bath or pressure can or do any of that kind of stuff for this. So it's an open kettle method. And number 2, that syrup is at around 250 degrees Celsius. It is boiling hot. So you're looking at somewhere between probably around 450 Fahrenheit is what your sugar is at the moment. And as you can see, as that sugar syrup hits those jars, it's boiling. So if we put that hot syrup into cold jars or room temperature jars, the chances are that they would shatter and you would be covered in molten sugar. And that is not a good place to be, trust me. Now when I'm making things like this, I always make sure that I'm using metal so that it doesn't I don't end up with melted bits of plastic and silicone and stuff like that. It also means that I can sterilize my funnel and my ladle and the things that I'm using, so I don't have a problem with any of that. So as you're jarring these up, you want to be incredibly careful. Obviously the jars are boiling, the sugar's boiling. Putting them together is going to make that jar absolutely molten lava, so you don't want to be touching it without some kind of protection for your hands. And even though this has taken a couple of minutes, that's still boiling in those jars. So please don't ever think that it's cool enough, because it's not. It really isn't. And I'd hate to see anyone get hurt, especially this time of year. Honestly, these were the kinds of jobs that I do when the kids are at school. So you don't have them around. There's no accidents liable to happen. They're not going to take your attention away from anything, and they're not going to come up behind you and start touching things and ending up, you know, with a quick trip to A&E, because that's just not on the cards for us this week. But can I just say, look at the sexy color of this. Oh my God. Oh, it's stunning. I couldn't have asked for better. It's beautiful. Now, some golden syrup can be a little bit blonder than this, But honestly, I'm not mad. I'm not mad about this at all. Because for me, I would be like, you know, that little bit more intensity of that caramel toffee is going to not be, it's going to knock a little bit of that sweet off, which is actually quite a good thing. Now, for those of you who know what golden syrup is and have used it out of the tin, you'll be sitting there going, but Blue, that is so liquidy. It's not like golden syrup at all, because golden syrup is incredibly thick. Well, for those of you who have used it, you should know that when it gets hot, it turns into liquid like that. So when these cool off, and that should be tomorrow sometime, they should be beautifully thick. I mean, they're glossy enough. They are the right color. The bubbles were right. Everything was right. And frankly, I just can't wait to use this. So as I said, I erred on the side of caution. I put in 6 jars, 6 500ml jars or 2-pound jars into the oven, just in case. As it was, we got 4 jars out of it. So 4 500ml jars, which is just under a pint. It's a metric pint. It's not an imperial pint, it's a metric pint, or half a litre. So yeah, 2 litres of golden syrup. Oh, and it was really simple. Really, really was. Now we're going to pop our lids on, and it is still hot. Can I just say I'm being a bit of an idiot here, and it's only because I've got asbestos fingers. But I would suggest to you not to do that. I would suggest get your tea towel, hold the jar with that, and then make sure that your lids are as tight as you can get them. So there you go. Golden syrup. Homemade golden syrup. Save yourself some pennies. Make it, and it's all there for you. This is also shelf stable for forever. It's pure sugar.
2 litres.
You know, that's it's not going anywhere. Much more I can tell you about it, to be honest. So if you've enjoyed this video, guys, please do go give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and leave me in a comment down below and let me know if you've tried this yourself. And I will see you tomorrow for day 6 of Bloo Makes Christmas in 24 days. Have an awesome one. Bye.